spent the big bucks and picked up a Wilson Combat billet upper and lower. So this isn't really the box opening. I've already opened it. And I blue taped the serial number, seeing as everybody seems to cover up their serial number. And I just want to break this out and take a look at it. Let's get this box out of the way. It's pretty simple. Nothing in the box other than this foam, the billet upper and lower, and this little black piece of rubber tubing. But it's more than just a rubber tubing. It's actually, you can't see through it. There's like a block in it. And there was no instructions, so I ended up having to contact Wilson Combat to see what it was for. So let's take a look. There was no instructions, no paperwork whatsoever in the box, which I found kind of disappointing. I mean, this was not cheap. We're looking at a $600 upper and lower. All right, so after I opened this up and looked at this a little bit, what I noticed is down here underneath where the rear retaining pin goes, kind of hard to see. Let's get a light over here. There we go. There's a hole. And this rubber tube bushing fits right inside that hole. And once you get this all pinned together, that's going to put a little bit of pressure on that take-up pin in the back and make sure that absolutely there's no rattling or whatever. And if we even need it, I don't know until I put this together and we take a look at it. And that'll be a little bit yet because I'm still not sure what new from my, I'm actually going to take my AR and tear it down and put some of it on here and leave some of it and probably build a, that's an 18-inch barrel, and I'm probably going to build a little bit more close quarter 16-inch, maybe a 14-inch, and pin a flash guard on it. So let's just take a look. I'll tell you, quality, machining, fit and finish, this is Wilson Combat. There's just no way around how good it is. I use a lot of their parts on my 1911, and their stuff just is nice. The finish, I mean, this thing is just look at how the lines match up. I mean, it has no forward assist on it. And actually, I was doing some research and I stumbled across something that said that the original AR-15 was actually offered, Armalite offered it to the government as an option with or without it, and the government thought they needed it, where Armalite did not think they needed it, and that's how it ended up on the M16s. So we'll take some looks. We'll look inside here. I mean, inside, let me see if I can get a little flashlight and throw some light down in there so we can see a little better maybe. Hard to see. I mean, inside and outside, it's just exactly the same. Every line, every detail is just crisp. There's no like half-ass period on this. And at that kind of money, I wouldn't expect to see it. I just wouldn't expect to see it from Wilson Combat. They're just, I wouldn't have spent the money for it if I didn't think it would be worth it. I just don't go blowing money because I want something that says Wilson Combat or something else on it. I spend the money because I think in the end it's going to get me to where I want to go, and I'm just trying to build, you know, that I have that nice 18-inch barrel. I want to take it off. I have a decent upper and lower that's on right now, but I think it's actually a little bit of the weak part of the gun, and this is to replace the weakest part of the gun. This is really the only weak part of my gun. And you know, some of, just like most mills, the bolt release, instead of a pin, has an actual little Allen set. And for those that don't know, is it this one? There's actually a special, here it is, driver, a pin driver for that with a little cutoff on it, a flat spot to get you in there so you're not so close to your receiver when you're driving if you're doing a standard one. And it just has the safe fire on the opposite side. So if you're doing ambidextrous, I mean, if we just look at, it's got the opened up mag well here. So nice guard, plenty of room in there if you have gloves on. You know, I have the Wilson Combat trigger that I'll be dropping in here. That's a great trigger. I love it. I mean, we're talking no creep. There's no take up. It's like you pull, it shoots. It's just exactly how you'd want it to be. You know, the only disappointing part to me was that there was no paperwork that came with this. Not even something saying, hey, thanks for buying Wilson Combat. But you think they would have something at least to tell you what this is for. You know, if I didn't have some clue and see this big hole that just happened to be the same size, you know, I would have had to wait for them to tell me. I just asked them on the website, and it was like that same day almost response that yes, I was right. But I mean, it's just, I really think you should get a piece of paper saying what to do. Oops. And billet. So, you know, I hear so many different things about billet, that it's not as strong as forged. Uh, But I'll be honest, and this is from cars. When I played around a little bit with cars over the years. When you're buying billet pieces, billet piston, billet crank, whatever, you're buying it because it's the best. I mean, better than forged. And I don't know, but the block of aluminum that this piece is milled out of is actually forged. And then this is milled out of it so that all the grain is aligned. It's not like it's just a piece of steel that's poured into a mold and then they send it off and then cut this out of it. It's actually forged into the mold and beat in, and that aligns the molecular structure of the aluminum, and that's what forging is meant to do. So, which is, and I hear, you know, it going both ways, which is stronger, and I don't really think we'll ever need to see the difference in this gun or any gun. I don't see where this is ever going to fail. I mean, they make a point of reinforcing in certain places. Your bolt, this area in here where the bolt's going to slide, is slightly tighter so that you have less slop. And from what I understand, that can be a problem where the bolt actually cocks a little bit depending on what side it's picking up the round from out of the magazine, and that can chamber the bullet into that chamber a little bit different every time. How much, it's questionable, but I want to get it right. And also the pin here for the dust cover is, you can see it's not open on this side, so you can use a straight, some companies make a straight pin here, and when you put your handguard on, that locks this all in. You don't have the little C-clip that's over here. All right, I just wanted to show you guys this. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the box. You know how that's all about. I'm glad I've picked up a few more people on the list, and I really appreciate everybody that has joined. And tell your friends. If you have questions, leave them. If you have questions about something you want to see, like I say, let me know. I'll see what I have. If I have it, I can help you out. If not, maybe I have seen it anyhow. All right, thanks and have a good night.